All right, well, I think this is the first time I've ever ran this setup on 8S. I really hope it takes it. It's a lot of battery wires, jumper harnesses and stuff like that, so I'm gonna just kind of be mindful with it and see what happens. I was originally gonna run one battery in the middle and then one on the tray to try to give it a little bit better balance, but I didn't bring the smaller battery straps for this one in the middle, and these do hold like this. Plus I got my jam foam and stuff like that. I opted to put on the red Oxydene 4219 because we're going to be revving it up so high. I just feel like that prop will spin up. I feel like it's not overly big in diameter, and I think it'll do me well. So let me tape it up and get it on the water. Okay, Dominator 8S run, first time. And what do we got? We got a 4219 Oxydene prop on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and zero out this GPS. Okay. Back, there we go, 0. And she catches. That was rolling. I was trying to ease into it too, because I was too afraid. I was too afraid of getting onto it too hard and like snapping a shaft, you know. All right, let's bring it this way. All right. Now it says I did 80 miles an hour again. It's kind of crazy. Okay, I think we're close enough. Let's do stop. Let's do read. 86. Okay, not bad. 86. The WFly X9 works great if you're like in a long, big open area. When you hit, a lot of people hit high speeds for like fractions or half of a second. You know what I mean? All right, let's do start. Okay, so we should be good. We'll push this back on out. I'll get the dirt off the nose. Okay. I'd say that's a pretty decent prop. I need to just get onto it a little sooner. I think what I'll try next time is 1717. Ooh. Damn. Okay, I gotta go get it. She's bobbing. Ooh. Well, that's no good. Jesus Christ. Thank God we packed it full of foam. Thank God we packed it full of foam. Did we save the batteries? No! I lost both of my fucking lipos. Damn it. Ain't that a bitch. And I lost my gnss. Damn! That sucks. But I got the majority of the boat back. Damn, I lost my... Ooh, golly, what a bad crash. It twisted the freaking rudder. The prop got into the rudder a little bit. Man, it just didn't seem like it was that bad. Did it bust the hull? Yeah, wow, look at that. It bent the whole strut and everything. Major, major carnage. But we didn't lose the boat. We didn't lose the boat. Thank God for jam foam. I don't think that would have bobbed up and down much more. And I had a little bit of flotation in the hatch. It just literally blew apart. Shit fire. My batteries are under the water right here somewhere. I need to get me a good reference. I guess it won't matter at this point. Check out what I just noticed. What it did. It ripped the entire battery tray out. Entire battery tray is gone. It broke all the carbon. Damn. That's wild. Okay, well, that sucks. But we didn't lose a $300 ESC. We didn't lose a $150 motor. And we didn't lose the boat. So you gotta count your blessings when stuff like this has happened. You know, I've never actually had this happen. First time for me. So, God. Hopefully when I get home, I'll see what else is actually broken. But it is tweaked hard, dude. I mean, bad. I'm glad I just ruined a freaking aluminum prop. Because oh my God, look at that. It snapped the hub off of the prop. Holy shit. That's insane. It hit the rudder right there, tweaked the whole mount over. It looks like maybe the strut is okay. I can't really tell. Man. But, you know, I know I'm going to have some people be like, oh, if you had hatch security screws in there, it may have held in there. I don't think so. With the weight of 2 batteries, that's probably 3.5 to 4 pounds of weight. And when that comes off, it's going to break. I think by the batteries breaking out and ejecting, that probably saved the hull. You see what I'm saying? If I had 4 security hatches and maybe it would have all stayed in there, it would have probably broken the corners of that up. Because that was, I don't even know how fast it was. I can't tell you how fast it was. You know, maybe 88 miles, maybe 80 miles an hour. I don't know. I just don't know. Because once it ejects, everything shuts off. And I lost the gnss. That was actually supposed to float, but it's only supposed to float if it doesn't have the whole GoPro thing on it. And it's got the whole GoPro mount. It literally snapped the GoPro mount off of it, and brand new gnss down the drain. Son of a bitch. But I got the boat. I got the boat. I got the motor. I got the ESC. All of which is, you know, the more expensive side of things. But I don't see any cracks in the bottom of the hull. No imperfections there. No seam cracks. No nothing. So the boat is built. Oxidine boats are strong as shit, man. And I know we're all doing crazy shit with them. 80, 90, 100, 110, 120 miles an hour. Like, we're doing shit that these boats were never designed for. Me personally, I like ovals. Ovals are fun. It's less detrimental to your setup, and you can kind of fine tune ovals. But when you run by yourself like I do, it's like ovals aren't kind of like any fun. It's like just going out and practicing donuts, you know. But speed run's fun because I can see what y'all do and then try to repeat it or, you know, compete against it. I'm not in that caliper of achieving the speeds like some of y'all are getting, because as you can see, that's the type of shit that happens when you try for stupid high speeds. But it is what it is. Worst crash of my RC boating adventure. That is terrible. Terrible. But the boat is still alive, ironically. But it definitely needs a lot of stuff. But I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But it doesn't really matter at this point. I kind of need to take everything apart and go over the boat top to bottom to make sure we don't have, like, you know, something that I'm not seeing right now. But I've got the lid. Got the lid right here. Still got all the tape on it. I'm glad that my little foam worked. But yeah, kind of sucks. But all right, well, that marks the end of the day. Look forward to talking to y'all in the comment section. Kind of hurts my heart, but better me than you, right? So we've got our input voltage here, 34 volts, 1.32 ripple, 388 amps. Wow, look at that, almost 1100 watts. Now I'm curious as to the ESC temp. Let's see the ESC temp. Only 93 degrees. But we did get 43,000 RPM, which is absolutely bonkers. That is a crazy high amount of RPM for this big motor. All right, let's see if we can clean this up a little bit. That was the first run, and then this was the second run when it crashed. So I can't believe how badly it bent that rudder bracket. I'm honestly surprised we saved the boat in and of itself. Still got a little mud on it, but I'll wipe that down. But I think this right here is bent as well. To me it looks bent. I won't know until I put a straight ruler on it. But good God, look at that rudder. I mean, just look at it. Like this right here is straight. Like that's straight. That's looking right down on it. Look how much it's twisted. That is nuts. I mean, what is that? If straight down is 6 o'clock, this is like 7:30. Like that's how far it's been over. That's nuts, dude. Okay, so that's on the back of the boat. Let's hit calibrate. 90. Good God. That is what, 17 degrees is it twisted? Yeah, it twisted at 17 degrees. Holy shit. And it didn't break it. It didn't break the boat. It didn't break the bracket. It literally just twisted the shit out of it. The only thing it really did break, it broke the hub on the prop. That amazes me. And what amazes me still is the hub's gone. The piece of the hub on the prop is gone. It's like the prop exploded. Part of me feels like that could have been it. Man, look at the stress on the back of the prop right there. See the stress? It's not on that side, but it is on that side. You can see it right there. That's amazing. Well, aluminum props have their place, but I think when you start speed running and you really start throwing the power to it and the force to it, I mean, we're talking 400, 500 amps here. Like, you know, that's ridiculous. Probably too much for a CNC prop, you know. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna go ahead, put it on the put it on the vent, let it dry out, and I think it's time to completely gut the Dominator. I really do. It's time to just completely gut it and rip out all the rail mounts. I had reinforced this in the past, and it's held up until now. But I think it's just time for it to go. You know, the boat in and of itself is fine, I believe. But I won't really know the truth of that until we really start taking it apart and making sure, you know, nothing's busted. But nothing is obviously busted. The seams back here look clean. The seams on the bottom look clean. There's no broken or cracked pieces around any of the trim tabs, around any of this. Nothing around the rudder is cracked. You know, nothing to me, in my opinion, isn't just, you know, direct, straight up replaceable. You know, I've got some new struts coming. Maybe we can put a new strut on it, different style strut, change things around a little bit. Who knows? Not really sure what I want to do with the boat. It's not really a speed run boat, but it's a bulletproof unit. Like the hull in and of itself that Oxygen has, it is a solid unit. That was an 80-some mile an hour crash that destroyed it in the boat. The boat is fine, you know. Granted, it did rip the battery tray out, but like I said, that's 4 pounds of battery at 80 miles an hour. You go ahead and hold on to something in your hands at 80 miles an hour and do an instantaneous stop and see if it don't come ripping out of your hands, you know. That's just a testament to the design of the hull. It was built like a brick shithouse. And ironically, it's not overweight. It's still pretty decent in its, you know, weight class. But oh well, it is what it is. I'll have some time to, you know, look at some parts and stuff like that. But it sucks because I've already got so many other projects in the works. I'm gonna have to let this sit, kind of like I'm letting the other catamaran sit, you know. But it's just part of the hobby, I guess. Can't do too much with one thing or you'll end up hurting it, and that's what we did. I always said this build was specifically going to be only for 6S, and here I go putting 8S on it and ruin the world. But, yeah. Well, it did. It busted my mount loose there, so. If it tweaked that, then it tweaked everything else. So, time for a refresh. Time for a refresh. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm going to end it here. Look forward to talking to y'all in the comment section. See y'all later. Peace.